Hello, I am Catherine. I made a lot of videos in the last weeks and I recommend you to visit my channel and to give a look to these videos about the fallen angels, because everything what is going on now in the world, in Israel, etc., it has to do with the fallen angels and the preparation of the 7 last years, the kingdom of the Antichrist, of the world dictator. Last week, I had the impression to make a video about Israel. But Wednesday, I was in Zurich, preaching, and then I had a very strong cold. I was sick. Now I am going better. And so I thought I will not make a video this time. But I was very surprised yesterday to see that all the world was occupied with Israel. And so I decided today to make this video that I wanted to make it was my thought to make a video about Israel and the false covenant with the enemies of Israel. And look at that. Exactly this is happening. This war will bring the false covenant. In the last weeks, I saw a video, some days ago, I saw a video with President Netanyahu before the UN and other TV stations and so on, and everybody wanted to know about the covenant with, peace covenant with Saudi Arabia and so on. And President Netanyahu was so happy, so full of optimism, and he said, if we make this covenant with Saudi Arabia, then all the others will have peace with us, and everything will be good, prosperity and good life and so on. And I sent this video to some people and I wrote, President Netanyahu changed a lot. How is it possible that after all these wars and all this hate of 3,500 years now from the Arabic people, to think there will be peace? How can you imagine this? There will not be peace. If there is some peace, it will be 3.5 years of false peace, until the armies of the devil are ready to attack Israel, because this is the goal. I said in many other videos that I was waiting for this war in 22, and I said this in some videos. But you see, 9 months later, doesn't matter. And I said in other videos that I am waiting for the New World Order to take over in 24. If it becomes 25, no problem. But it comes. I heard Anthony Blinken, or what you say, the minister from America, he spoke before the G20, and he had such a nice, sweet speech. And he said this was the main point. The old world order is over, the new world order is coming. And then he painted with nice words, prosperity, security, peace for all the world. Does he know that the New World Order means the destruction of America and the replacement of America by Russia, China, Islamic countries. I don't know how Russia and China stand. I mean, a little we see, but how they will stand to Islam. But Russia and China are surely the new powers. So does he doesn't know that? I don't think. And do you remember President Biden forgot in Afghanistan weapons for $100 billion? He forgot them. Really? And now the Taliban said if Iran allows them, they will march against Israel to destroy Israel. With what? With the weapons of America? Was it really because he's old? Did he really forgot them to take with them? In Kuwait, the Americans had only to fly above Iran or whatever to Kuwait, where in the desert is the military bases of the Americans. So it had been so quickly and easy to bring the weapons there. But he forgot them, really? Perhaps they will be used against Israel. So some powers, first spiritual powers, the fallen angels who control the world, and some tools of these powers are working. They think they are clever, but we see all this. We are not blind, and God sees all this. So I said in many videos, and I will put my video about Israel under by the information, because I made a video, Israel in the end time, why we are in the last days, and why the country of Israel belongs to Israelis and not to the Palestinians. You have to look to know to understand the conflict. I said in other videos, and I say again, the Antichrist, the world dictator, will sit in the last 3.5 years before Jesus comes back in the temple of God in Jerusalem, and will say, I am God, everybody has to worship me, and he will put the number on the front head or here to the people. But the problem is this. Where is a temple of God in Jerusalem? There is no temple of God. It was destroyed 70 years after Jesus, the death of Jesus. So something must happen. What is in the place where was the temple of God? Is the temple of a God who is an enemy of God. Is a temple of Allah there, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And as I know, there are 2 mosques there. So something must happen that these mosques are destroyed, because the Muslims will never accept the temple of God beside their mosque, or a false peace must happen to allow the Israelis to build the temple. And I explained in another video that the temple will be built in 220 days. And the Israelis will be allowed to sacrifice animals or whatever. I don't know how they will do that, but they will be allowed to worship their God, the living God, in this temple. And the Antichrist then will go into the temple of God and declare himself to God. To bring all this, something must happen. And it began yesterday. It's not interesting. The whole world was shocked. COVID-19 came as a shock. The war in the Ukraine came as a shock. And the war now in Israel came as a shock. And the biggest shock is for the Israelis. Totally unprepared, totally shocked, totally in eine Party, in an entertainment. Why? Many months now, the Israelis were occupied with internal problems. There is a word. If two have strife, the third is laughing. So the enemy was looking. Oh, they don't have time for war. They don't have time for anything else. They are so occupied with themselves. They destroy themselves. Super. And Netanyahu and his government were occupied with the peace contracts with the Arabic world. So they were in an illusion. Now we have peace. Very soon, in some months, peace contract with Saudi Arabia. And then all our enemies will have peace with us. Really? After 3,500 years, President Netanyahu, after 3,500 years of enmity with Ismail, are you still optimistic? And I wondered how optimistic he was. And so they were unprepared. They were totally sleepy. And now the people are paying the price. And don't think the Israelis, if the best army of the world, if the best IDF, or what is this, how do you say, are unprepared, totally shocked, what do you think are we? Worse, totally unprepared for anything. Civil wars in the West? Oh no, everything is okay. Israel is far away. The Arabs, they are far away. We are friends. And what says the Bible? So something began yesterday, it will continue, and it will bring this false covenant with the devil. Not with God, with the devil, with the fallen angels of God. They are behind all this. I want to read some things. And God warned them. Thousands of years now, President Netanyahu, God said, you have made a covenant with death. And with Sheol we have an agreement. When the overwhelming whip passes through, it will not come to us, for we made lies our refuge, and in falsehood we have taken shelter. This is the thoughts. And this will be the thoughts of the Israelis and many other people. We have a covenant, peace, peace. Until when? Until the Arabic countries and the Arabic armies are so strong to destroy you, to annihilate you, because this is the goal of Islam. Islam can't accept a Jewish country, never. You must imagine, for 3,500 years now, the Arabic countries around Israel are the enemies, and the attack, and they had wars 4 or 5 only since 1948. How can you imagine that they want only a small part if we give them West Jordan land and Gaza and East Jerusalem? They will be so happy. We will have peace. Really? Are so blind? Don't you know the Bible? How can you make peace covenant with the devil who hates you, who wants your absolutely annihilation? And they tell you that. They tell you that. But you don't believe. Why? Because you lost your faith in the living God. And God says also in Isaiah 28, "Now therefore do not scoff, lest your bones be made strong, for I have heard a decree of destruction from the Lord God of hosts against the whole land." The Bible is clear. Perhaps I should bring still the word of Daniel to understand. Daniel 9. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I didn't see because I had a cold. I put something in my mouth. The Bible says in Daniel 9, and he, the Antichrist, the world dictator, he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week. 1 week are 7 years. And for half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. In the middle of the 7 years he will stop the sacrifice and as offering. So what we see? A covenant, a false peace covenant between Israel and his enemies for 7 years. And the UN speaks about that. But it will be a false peace. The goal of the Palestinians and the goal of the Arabic world is not West Jordan land and Gaza and East Jerusalem. It's all Israel. The Jewish country must stop to exist. And perhaps you think it's far away. It's not about us. We don't have Arabs, and we don't have enemies, and we work with them, and everything is okay. Peace, security, prosperity. Really? If you think it's everything far away, then I want to remember, I am only that I don't want to make it long because some people become angry if it's too long, that remember, don't forget, the West now, and very soon we have the same situation like Israel. And you see the Muslims in their houses in the West, they are surely dancing, singing, and some more things will happen. What wants now the West? The West say, Biden says, there must be 2 states. We bring 2 states and then peace forever. Putin says the solution is 2 states. 2 states and peace forever. But don't forget, Iran, Russia is in Iran. I mean, they work together. And Russia is now the garant for Iran. If Iran is attacked by the Israelis, Russia must help Iran. And Russia is in Syria. So if the Israelis attack Syria and Hezbollah is in Lebanon, Iran is also there. And the biggest problem for Israel is not Gaza and Hamas. The biggest problem will be Hezbollah, because they have more weapons, they are more organized, and so on. So the biggest danger is from the north, and the Bible always, if they speak from danger and the end times, they speak from the enemy from the north. Iran, Syria, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Turkey, Russia. Don't forget, many people forgot something. The big part of the countries of the ex-Soviet Union are radical Islamic countries. Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan. And the Taliban now ask Iran for a way to pass with their weapons, perhaps the weapons of Biden, to attack Israel. So you see, it's not about a state. In the beginning, we are happy with half, but understand we want all. For Israel, it's about live or die. Do you see what happened? They were in peace discussions, occupied, in illusion, happy. Now we can go to Saudi Arabia for holidays, to Qatar, to Dubai, and so. And they were occupied with internal problems against Netanyahu, and so they became weak. And the same will happen and is happening in the West. So everybody says, good, the Israelis must make a covenant. 2 states. What says the Bible in Joel? The 2 states are coming. But God will judge the countries. So people, we are in a very serious time, we are in a very interesting time, but in the most dangerous time of all times of world history. This war yesterday will lead to Armagedon, not tomorrow, not after tomorrow, but in 7-8 years, Armageddon is here. So take it serious. Yesterday I saw a short video. It was in Germany, from Germany, a TV TV sender, or how do you say, TV station, asked a reporter, a journalist from another TV station to come because she is Israeli to tell them how she feels, what she thinks. So this woman came, she's Israeli and German, and she said, I came by taxi. But the taxi driver was an Arab man. He didn't know that I understand Arabic. And on the way to the TV station, he called his friend, and they were happy and singing, and they were happy and laughing about what is happening in Israel. And they also were laughing about the foolish Germans. If you think this Arab taxi driver is the only one who is happy and is the only one who is laughing about the foolish Germans, Swiss, English, French, Americans, then you don't know the situation. Every Muslim, if he is really a Muslim, wants Israel, to destroy Israel, to have Jerusalem. Every. If you are a Muslim, this is your dream. Not to go to Mecca, but one day to Jerusalem. So it means we in the West, we will have very soon the same problem. And I want to ask you something. If you are in America or Europe, ask yourself, could happen something like yesterday in Israel in our countries here? Absolutely. We know, and how do you say, our services of security, they know that terrorists from Europe, of course, most of them Islamic, they went to Ukraine to buy weapons. I will not wonder if they find weapons in Gaza from Ukraine. And I heard some days ago somebody that I know very, very good. He was in a dialogue for other things with a German businessman. And this businessman, I think his son is in a school where are also sons of NATO people. NATO, you know what is NATO. And from the discussion, he said, the highest people of NATO, they know it will be a catastrophe if we don't have the money for all these millions of refugees who are not really refugees. They sell their houses, their shops to have the sun in Europe or America. And second, he said, one day his son came from the school and he said, Papi, you must buy this. He said something special to buy, not food. I will not tell you what to buy. It's too dangerous. And third, the NATO people, they know that from 4 million Muslims, I think they mean 4 million in Germany, not in all Europe, they are more, 1.5 million are radical Muslims who are waiting their day to attack. So, Years after years after years now, many people warned us. I mean, I was one of them. Warned our governments. They didn't want to know. So there is a word. If you don't want to hear, you must feel. So the problems of Israel will be very soon our problems, and then we must decide on which side we will be, for Israel or for his enemies and our enemies. Is every Muslim a radical or dangerous? No, there are very, very nice people. But the problem is Islam, not the people really. I feel such a pity for the Muslims people. They are so deceived. They are so deceived. They are so betrayed. I really, really feel such a pain for these people. Pray for Israel, pray for his enemies. God bless you. Goodbye.